Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I really hate to say that I am super excited for this video, but I kind of can't contain myself. I am really excited to film this video. This actually was a request from one of you guys, one of my new subscribers, Davida Valencia. Hey Davida. Thank you for requesting this video. She asked if I can film my foundation and concealer collection, so I decided that I would go ahead and film that. And it was actually really hard for me to figure out how I wanted to film this because I hoard so much stuff, and thanks to YouTube, I realized that I'm not the only one. So I hoard a lot of stuff, including foundations, and so those that I don't really use and don't care for, I've pushed to the side. And I'm only going to mention the ones that I truly have something to say about, good or bad. So if I mention something that you happen to love, please do not take any offense to that. This is just solely my opinion and my experience with these foundations or concealers. So please don't feel any sort of way. I'm just going to give you my 100% honest opinion. So let's get started. The first concealer that I'm going to mention is one that has been talked about all across YouTube and makeup social media, and you guys are probably sick to death about hearing about it. It is the Tarte Shape Tape. Now this concealer, I use the shade Tan Sand and I absolutely love it. It is so full coverage. I love full coverage everything, so for me that automatically was a winner, and this took over as my holy grail concealer. The next concealer I'm going to share with you guys actually used to be my holy grail until this came along, completely killed it for me. The packaging is everything. It comes with the huge applicator that you guys have already seen. I love it. It's beautiful. It brightens under my eyes. Now, one thing that I notice people on YouTube doing with this is like they'll paint a whole triangle under their eyes. And I used to do that when I first purchased this, but I realized that I don't need that much. Thankfully, you know, my dark circles aren't too bad, so I don't need to put that much and waste that much product. I'll literally just put a couple of dots here, down my nose, forehead, chin, all of that, and take it from there. So for me, you know, a little bit goes a long way for this, so you should definitely try it. Just try it. Next concealer that, like I said, was my holy grail concealer, and I've repurchased this concealer so many times. If you guys watch any of my older videos, then you'll see me using this concealer, and it is my absolute favorite. It is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I use the shade NW35. I've again repurchased this so many times. You can see how beat up it is and how like little bit I have. Like everything I have is like up on the side, but I just love this. Again, it's super full coverage. That's my personal preference. You do have to set this concealer, so you cannot, or I cannot, go out and not apply powder on top of this because it will crease like a madman. I noticed that the Tarte Shape Tape doesn't crease as bad when you don't set it, so that's one of the reasons why it's kind of taken over this spot. But this again is absolutely amazing. I know a lot of people don't really like it because it is so heavy. It doesn't feel heavy, it just gives you a lot of coverage. For me, it doesn't really feel heavy. The only bad thing that I can possibly say about this concealer is the packaging. Now, it comes with this pump, and sometimes you can accidentally pump out way too much product and actually waste it. So that's my only complaint about this. If they could change the packaging a little bit, maybe something similar to the Tarte Shape Tape, but this is just an amazing concealer. So one of my all-time faves for sure. Next concealer, it took me a long time to actually like this concealer because I really love full coverage. Like, I can't get over my full coverage. And when I heard about this, I love the foundation version of this, so when I saw they were coming out with a concealer, I needed to get it, and it's the Too Faced Born This Way. Now, before, when I was looking for that super full coverage, I didn't really like it, but I quickly realized, okay, not so quickly, I eventually realized that This is perfect for everyday wear. If you're just maybe, you just want to put maybe this and a little bit of powder on, this is gorgeous for every day. If you're going to work, if you don't have dark circles, this is great light to medium coverage. It definitely brightens underneath my eyes, so I really do like it. And I use the shade medium tan, and again, you guys have seen this, similar to a lip gloss, just a typical doe foot applicator. But I really do like this. If you again aren't crazy about full coverage like I am, or just don't maybe like to wear a lot of makeup, that's a perfect one. Another concealer that used to own Too Faced Born This Way spot, but now Too Faced Born This Way took it over. This one used to serve the same purpose. This is the Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. Now I purchased this because Katie, Luster Lux here on YouTube, raved about this, and I liked it. You know, again, it was good for those days that I maybe wasn't wearing a lot of makeup. I couldn't stand the packaging, and I actually think, I'm pretty sure that they redid the packaging on this, because it was this weird, like, just ball tip. Like, the concealer would only come out on the tip, and it was really hard to get product, and a lot of people were complaining about it. So I'm pretty sure that they actually did redo the packaging. So I could be wrong, but I think that they did. And I haven't repurchased it because it wasn't my favorite formula for, you know, someone who maybe doesn't want to spend as much money on the Too Faced concealer. This is a little bit cheaper, I believe. So for that, you know, it's good. The shades that I got are really similar. So again, serve the same purpose. Days that I don't want to wear that much concealer. I've said that like 500 times, but it's what it is. Next concealer is one that I purchased because of the hype here on YouTube. Now, I think we're all guilty of this, just buying products because everyone else loves them. And for me, this one didn't really live up to what I was hearing about it, and it's the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Concealer. Now, maybe I'm at fault a little bit, because maybe I didn't show this one as much attention as I do with other concealers. The shade that I use is Y33, and it was harder for me to find a shade in this concealer than it normally is. Like, I remember being at Sephora for a while, like swatching different ones, because a lot of them looked really light on me, and I ended up picking this shade. Maybe it's the shade that throws me off. I don't know what it is that can't get me to like fully commit to this concealer. The packaging is okay. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just this like squeeze tube. So again, it's nothing out of this world, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to show this concealer a little bit more love, a little bit more attention, and really make a good decision about whether or not I like this. So it's kind of just there in my collection. Next concealer I want to mention, I have just a sample of, and I actually used it for the first time and the only time on a video here on YouTube, and this is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Illumination Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. That's a lot of claims. This is it here. It was just a sample that came in one of my Ipsy bags, and this is the shade Tan, and I do not like this at all. This is so thick. Like, it's so thick, and this is coming from someone who loves full coverage. This is way too thick. It creased under my eyes. You know, it's one of those illuminating concealers, so it does give you some sort of a glow, which is kind of nice. But over time, like, I remember I wore this Super Bowl Sunday. I think it was my Valentine's Day tutorial that I used this, and I just wasn't feeling it. So this is again one that I've used once and never again. Who knows, maybe one day I'll give it another try, but thankfully Super Bowl Sunday I just stayed here at home, because if I would have went out and the creasage that happened would have happened outside, your girl would have been mortified. Last concealers that I want to mention, I actually have the entire shade range, because when I started freelancing on the side, I purchased the entire shade range from Amazon for like $30, which is a great deal. And that is the LA Girl Pro Concealers. I love this. I use this only in my kit whenever I do other people's makeup, and I use them on myself as well. My favorite shade is medium beige, and I use this to carve out my eyebrows. I only carve out my eyebrows when I'm getting like super duper glam, or I'm going out, or I really need to go do my eyebrows, then I'll do that. And I think this is great for that. This shade is also perfect because it gives me like a nice little glow to where I don't feel like, you know, it's too white or too bright or anything like that. So this is the perfect color, and I love the applicator on these. You get like decent light to medium coverage, so I actually really like these. And the other shade that I use to cream contour whenever I'm in the mood for cream contouring is Dark Cocoa. This is a really nice shade for my particular skin tone, and the darker ones are so pigmented, so you really do have to be careful with how you're applying them, because it can easily just make your contour look all muddy and nasty. So a little bit really goes a long way with these concealers as well. So and these are like $3. Like you can't go wrong. You really can't. Now we're going to move on to foundations. The first one that I want to talk about, I just made a first impressions video on, and I'll link that down below. It is the Stellar Cosmetics Limitless Foundation. I love this. Now, if you watch my first impressions, you're gonna see that kind of like mixed weird reaction that I don't really know what to make of this. It's a satin finish, like a true satin finish. It's not dewy, it's not matte, it's literally right in between. And it's not full coverage. Again, I love my full coverage, and it's not full coverage. I do have to use 2 layers of this foundation, but I swear to you, I do not mind. I bought the shade S19, and it is gorgeous. Like I said, even though it's not full coverage, with 2 layers, it looks flawless. It claims to have a all-day wear, and I swear it does. I work 9-hour shifts, and sometimes by the time I get home, I've had my makeup on for 10, 11 hours, and it still looks good. Like, all I need to do is maybe touch up in the slightest bit, and boom, I can be back out if I want to. I really like this foundation, and I don't see enough people talking about it yet, and especially girls with a little bit of color. This line definitely dedicates a lot of nice shades to us, so you guys should really try it. Like, do yourself that favor. Next foundations that I want to talk about are more of my all-time faves. This is a great everyday foundation pair for me, and it's actually 2 foundations. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte and L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I love these. I think that these are the best foundations at the drugstore. These are amazing. I use Classic Tan in both shades, so 109 and 210, and I love them together. Like, they are a match made in heaven for my skin that's been really dry over this past winter. Infallible Pro Matte has been a little bit too matte, so adding that pump of Pro Glow just brings it to perfection. It lasts all day. I can't say enough good things about this. Like, the fact that this is available in the drugstore is mind-blowing compared to some of these foundations that I spent so much money on, and they don't even hold a candle to these. So these are amazing. If you haven't tried them yet and you've been living under a rock, you gotta get it together, girl, because you don't know anything until you try that. Another foundation that I absolutely love but haven't really been able to use, you know, because of the winter time, is the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. This is gorgeous. It's so matte, and it definitely lasts you all day. The packaging, of course, is beautiful. Forgive mine, it's all dirty, but you can see I've used it up. With this particular, let's focus, come on. With this particular packaging, the foundation, you can see through here, and it pumps up as you use it, and mine is like all the way at the top. So I really love this. Be careful with this foundation because it does oxidize. So what you want to do is, if you're in Sephora or Ulta, anywhere, is pump a little bit on your hand, blend it in, and then walk around and check the color that it, you know, dries to, because it does darken a couple of shades lighter. I use the shade 8.75, and I absolutely love it. Another foundation that I absolutely love but am completely out of, and I still have the bottle, I think because I just love the packaging so much, is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I use the shade Caramel, and I think Caramel is maybe a little bit like a hinge too light for me sometimes, like a hinge too light for me, but I make it work always. It looks like it's full, but trust me, it's not. And I do have to repurchase it again. I love this foundation. It's not matte, it's not dewy, it's that perfect in between. It lasts a long time and it just leaves your skin looking flawless, and it still looks like skin, you know, like it doesn't look like you're wearing foundation. I admit the Urban Decay All Nighter, as much as I love it, it looks like you're wearing foundation. This doesn't. Next foundation in my collection is quite a staple all across. Everyone, I think, at some point has used this foundation. It's the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. I was a huge fan of the Makeup Forever HD foundation, and when they came out with this, I had to purchase it. I've never tried the stick foundation, but I'm going to IMATS next week, so looking forward to stopping by the Makeup Forever booth, and I'm probably going to pick it up because why the hell not? Like, I don't know myself why I haven't used that foundation yet. Everyone loves it. So this one has done a really good job in my collection. I mean, it's great for photos. It's great for those nights where you're going out. It's a great overall foundation. Like, there's nothing that I can pinpoint that I like really like about this foundation. It's just, it's one of those overall good ones. So one of those ones that everyone should try, you know? Now I'm going to bring it down to two foundations that I'm not the craziest about. One, I'm so sad that I don't like it, like beyond sad. It is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. Oh, I didn't mention my shade in the Makeup Forever. I use Y445. It was 173, so just wanted to add that. The NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, I was so sad that I could not get this to work. And it's not necessarily that I didn't like it. It just broke me out so badly. Like on my chin, like I had pimples and my skin was dry and patchy and it was disgusting. And I wanted to like this so bad. Like I don't know if you can hear that, but like I still have a lot of foundation in there. This foundation was expensive and I used the shade Tahoe, or I purchased the shade Tahoe. And the packaging is beautiful. The Stellar packaging reminds me a lot of this, but hold on, my phone's ringing. The Stellar foundation is, the packaging is really similar, but the product in that one for me works way better. Again, I love NARS, and I love the NARS Sheer Glow. I used to use that back in the day a lot, but I don't know, I wanted to like this so bad, and it's one of those ones that just never worked for me. Last foundation I'm going to tell you guys about is one that wasn't necessarily marketed as a foundation, and I liked it for what it did, like what it was supposed to do, you know? Again, this one kind of broke me out a little bit and I was so disappointed, so I had to stop using it. But it's the Urban Decay Naked Skin One and Done Hybrid Complexion Perfector, and I have the shade Dark. I love this packaging too. I love the pump, and you know, it's really lightweight. Like I used to just pump it on my fingers and rub it into my skin, and I purchased this because I was going on vacation and I just wanted something lightweight that I could throw on when I was, you know, gonna be out in the sun or whatever. And again, for what I wanted it to do, it did well. It's just that it broke me out. So for me, unfortunately, it has to like get a thumbs down because it breaks me out. Like, Urban Decay, why? So that's pretty much it for my foundation and concealer collection. Please continue to request videos. Like, I love that. There's another one that I'm going to be doing next that I, again, I'm excited for. And so yeah, so please comment down below if you have any requests, anything that you want to see. Like and subscribe to my channel if you want to catch more of my videos. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.